What's going on, guys? We're going to break the internet because we're going to talk about how much we love pastel. All jokes aside, guys, today we're going to be going over some of the top pastel animals in our collection. I know pastel doesn't work in anything, so don't think that I'm going to be putting pastel in every single project we have, because that's just not it. But we are going to be going over some of the animals in our collection that have pastel that still look really good. And I'm not going to just show hatchlings, because I know hatchlings look really well as pastels and they do get a bad rep of how they age. So I'm going to show some stuff that is aged over 1,000 grams, over 1,500 grams, to show you just what you still can do with pastel, and what you, if used in the right projects, that you can still use it and you don't just have to wash it out as a gene that you shouldn't have in your collections, in our opinion. So today we're going to be going over some pastel animals, and let's get into it. So the first snake I'm going to show is this Pastel Orange Dream. This one's 100% het pied, 50% het lavender as well, but we're just looking as a base pastel OD. Now you can see this one here, it's got a lot of nice flaming up the side. This is a really good example, that's why I wanted to show it. The camera doesn't even do it justice. It's not picking up a lot of the oranging that's kind of along the back side here. A lot of nice flaming in here. I have shown this snake off in a previous video and on our Instagram, but one thing that you're going to see here is the pastel kind of dulls out the OD a little bit. Now again, pastel isn't a perfect gene, but there is still a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it, and there's still a lot of potential in my eyes of using it with certain combos. I do not think it's a dead gene. I don't think it's a gene that you should be devaluing an animal because it has a certain gene in there, but it's also not everyone's cup of tea. But you can see here, this pastel OD is kind of just a baseline of what we're going to look at. The next snake I'm going to show is from the same clutch, and it's just kind of the upgraded version of that last one, in the sense that this one's actually a visual pied. So I just wanted to show quickly what we're going to be looking at when you just add pied to it. Again, if you're comparing this to a normal, say, Orange Dream pied or Orange Dream combo pied, this is going to be a little bit duller than that, because the pastel is dulling out some of the orange and bringing more of a yellow color in. And I'm getting bit, but that's okay. So here you're going to see more blushing on here. Camera's kind of being funky with me. And then a lot more of a dull yellow color here compared to the, say, just a regular Orange Dream equivalent. So not the greatest example here. So I'm going to show you one more that I think is a better example of it. But this is kind of the same snake I just showed, but with the full dose of pied. So the next snake I'm bringing up here is an actual just pastel pied. This one also is possible het lavender. A shed will be going out for this girl soon, now that we can start to shed test for some more stuff here in Canada. So I really like the pastel pied stuff in a sense that it adds a really busy pattern to the snake, which I love in pied. I don't really like high weight pied. I like more of a pattern pied. So I do really like what pastel does in a sense. Now, obviously you're getting more of a washed out color as they age, but it's just bringing in all this busy stuff to pied. So if we can unlock something that keeps the color and doesn't brown it out and get so dark like this snake is, then again, something that could be looked down at the line where maybe pastel makes a comeback a little bit. But again, it's got some nice orange here. It doesn't really pick up on the camera. This is more of like an OD orange in this area here. It does get pretty dark in the blacks of the pattern, and it gets really washed out eventually. But this is kind of another stepping stone of the pastel in the pied combos. While we're here, I also wanted to show what a full-grown, or not necessarily full-grown, but an adult female pastel looks like. This is a pastel 100% het pied female. She obviously isn't going to be changing much in color anymore, so you can really tell what pastel looks like as it ages. You still get some really nice yellowing, blushing along the back stripe here. But as you can see, this is one of the main reasons why Pastel gets the rep that it does. Because as they age, they don't look the greatest. They do get really washed out. They do get really dark and kind of scruffy looking is the word I'm going to use today. But you get kind of this pastel-y color washed out in here, and they do lose a lot of their vibrantness that they have as hatchlings. If I pull out this boy here again, you can tell this is actually mother and son, the difference as they age. Now obviously this one has OD in it as well, but you can tell the difference as they age. They lose a lot of their color. Again, one of the reasons why Pastel loses so much of the hype, because if you look at this animal by itself without looking at the female in the back, you're going to be saying, wow, that could be the next best gene if it were to just come out today. And that's one thing that I think people do forget. If Pastel came out in 2024, 2025, everyone would be all over it. Just because look at this thing when it hatches out. This thing's only about a month old and it's super, super vibrant looking. It does suck that they do dull out as much as they do. Which, you can fix that with things like Desert Ghost. So there is that, but it's one of the reasons why Pastel gets such a bad rep. So the next snake I'm going to show is a Pastel Yellow Belly 100% Het Clown female. Yes, I can hear you guys talking through the camera already. Pastel sucks in Clown. Yes, that may be. But it's also really, really good in Desert Ghost. And in Puzzle. So this snake necessarily might not be for everybody in their clown projects, but when you're talking about DG clowns, when you're talking about, I know Puzzle Clown doesn't work yet. Maybe in the future it does. But when you're looking at things like that, where you can add Desert Ghost to this, or you can add Puzzle to this, not using it for the clown side, that this could still be a really effective female used the right way. It's bringing a really nice washed out yellow pattern, and I know it's not for everybody, but the rustiness of the Pastel I think still can be used in certain ways. I do like, one thing I'm realizing as shooting this video is that Pastel sucks to be brought up on camera, but it does in person. It's got a really nice orange in this area. It doesn't look as white as the camera's picking it up. But just another female that I wanted to show off with size, just to kind of show, oh, she's trying to take the camera away, just to kind of show what it's doing. One of the last females I'm going to show, and she's in shed, so she's not going to be as bright as I would like her to be. And this is one snake that I love Pastel being in, because this thing, especially in person, just absolutely glows like you wouldn't believe. This is a Lemon Blast Desert Ghost. So Pastel Pinstripe Desert Ghost, very, very simple combo. Really good female to add the DG and Pastel and Pinstripe into other combinations. I still really love Pinstripe. I'm not a hater on Pastel. Obviously, I'm doing a video on me liking Pastel combos. And I didn't want to show a whole bunch of crazy combos of Pastels because I really wanted to see just basic what it's doing in certain combos, 1Z, 2Zs. We're not stacking 6, 7 genes here and then trying to find out what Pastel looks like. This is just very basic stuff. So this girl, even though she's in shed, she's the epiphany of what you'd want a Desert Ghost to be. She's super, super vibrant, gets better with every shed. Everyone knows what Desert Ghost does. But she is absolutely gorgeous. She's a great example of all the genes that are at play here. And this is definitely a combo where I wouldn't be taking Pastel out of it because I think that it looks better with Pastel in it. She's super, super gorgeous girl. And I wish that the camera was picking up how just electric she looks. The head on her, if I can get her to uncurl here. Again, she's in shed, but Her head is nuts looking. I will do an update just on her by herself after she's out of shed. Going through this video, I'm also realizing another reason why Pastel gets such a bad rep, and it's because they do not show up on the camera at all. As you see, this girl is also het puzzle. She is crazy, like all of the het puzzle stuff I have. This girl here is a super fly, yellow belly, 100% het puzzle female. She wants to eat my face right now. So I'm going to keep my hands away as much as possible. This is another one where it's not getting worse as it ages, but it's also not getting better. This is another female that I think looks really good off of camera. The white on her head I think is really cool. It almost looks like she's aging like a desert ghost and getting whiter and whiter with every shed. She's also not keeping the super vibrant yellows and oranges that she had when she was a hatchling, but she still looks really cool as an adult. I'm gonna turn her head away from me a little bit. Like the fire and the yellow belly are working really good in this combo as well, but the pastel not really adding anything but not really taking anything away. I think it is a really cool combo. Would I like it without pastel? Yeah, I would like to have one in the collection without pastel, but I don't mind this particular one having pastel because in the puzzle project I do think pastel shines. We're also going to be adding Desert Ghost and Hypo and a whole bunch of other recessives into these projects, so I don't mind having pastel in there. I'm not shying away from it in any way with these projects. But another really nice female that has pastel in her, and again, she is a super fly, yellow belly, 100% het puzzle. So last, I want to show the nicest snake, or one of the nicest snakes in the collection. This guy is growing and he literally gets better with every single shed. The camera does not pick up what this guy looks like in person. This is a pastel vanilla puzzle. And I think pastel and puzzle still work so well together. I think there's a lot to be done in that project. This guy does not want to hold still for me at all. He's not going to cooperate, of course. But this guy is just exceptional looking. The pattern on him, this is like one of the nicest puzzles I've seen, just because it shows off the puzzle pattern so well. It's got exactly what you would want a puzzle to look like for the pattern side of it. Now the pastel is bringing in a nice yellow, the vanilla is doing its job here. Obviously not the end goal for this, but it's a stepping stone. So when this guy gets going for us and starts breeding, there's going to be a lot that we're going to do with him, obviously, because he's just an exceptional combo of the puzzle. He shows, like I said, what a puzzle should look like in my eyes. Really nice back stripe, really nice side pattern. He's a very good baseline for our puzzle projects. And like I said, gets better with every single shed. So there you have it, guys. Those are some of the basic pastel combos that we have in our collection that still look really good as adults and as some hatchlings. And I just don't like when everyone's like, oh, pastel should be losing value in snakes, because I just don't agree with that at all. I think it still should be valued as what it is. Yellow belly doesn't devalue snakes. I know they do things differently, but at the end of the day, they're both inexpensive genes on their own, and I think if you still use them the right way, just like anything, there is still lots of potential to be done. You just got to know how to use it. So thank you guys for watching. I would love to hear your comments down in the comment section of what you guys think about some of the animals we've shown and what you guys think about pastel in general. So drop a comment, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be a lot more kind of controversial videos over the next little while just to give our input on stuff. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day.